Yo, what's good, everybody? Happy hump day to you. Hope you're all well. I think we might just jump right into it today. Gonna make some fun little cinematic rhythmic elements today. Should be a pretty good time. We'll do it across a couple of BPMs. Saf, welcome in. Hello. How are you? I owe you an email today. I think I might be able to squeeze you in next week. Might be able to. Trying really hard to get this to work out. And hello, Heidi. Damp and cold and gray. Sunny in Maryland, says Paul. You're still getting intro ads? What the hell? What the hell? Let me check on that. That should not happen. Da 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 da. Settings. Da 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 da. Affiliate emotes, ad-free viewing. Allow subscribers to watch your content on your channel ad-free. Yes. Yeah, that should not be happening. I have ads turned off. I have ads turned off. I don't know why that would be happening. Let's see if that persists. We had a thing happen like a month or so ago. I don't know if you remember this, but we had this thing where ads randomly started showing up in the middle of the stream for people. But then it was gone the next day. So, yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Saf says, I don't know if using architecture books would be good for making visual spaces. Can you expand upon that, please? You mean using imagery from architecture books? Good for like visualization content for audio? If that's what you're referring to, it would be cool. But that is copyrighted material. Fingers crossed and good luck, Paul. Ads in the middle for non-subs. No, I want to say, Paul, that everyone was seeing those ads in the middle of the stream. No, wait. I take that back because there were a few people that day that were saying, nope, I don't see anything. But everyone else in the room was like, why do I keep seeing ads? And when I went and I checked, they're like, none of my ads were turned on. So I think that they've maybe got wires crossed or something a couple of times. Ben is here. What up, Nano Wires? How you doing, homie? It's a Pure fan morning. I just saw Nate for a minute. I hopped on to set the stream status and saw Nate on, so I stopped in and said hello. And I heard from some Pure fam in my inbox this morning too. All right, cool. Well, let's do this. Let's make something awesome. I have no idea what it's going to be yet, but it's going to be fun. So let's just hit stop on this. And let's dip into that other project here. Let's see if we can keep that project just kind of muted in the background. All right, what should I start with here? Let's do, hey. How can you not love that gazelle? What's up, Tom? Thank you, homie. I appreciate you. Big love. 9 months. 9 months running. Feels like a lifetime at this point, right? Right? Thank you for the hug, Heidi. And yes, Bean juice to survive. Love you too, Tom. Paul says, tossed up another Uncle Chrome video from the drone I was building while with you on Monday. Yeah, dude. Heidi, you didn't see the gazelle. Oh my goodness. What is going on? Paul saw an ad. You didn't see the gazelle. There's a freaking ghost in the machine this morning, huh? All right. Here we go. You guys toss out tools or sound ideas, and I'll see if I can work some in. I'm going to aim for, let's see if we can make like maybe a solid 15 stems at 100 BPM and another 15 at 80 BPM. And if we go beyond that, then great. I think that's kind of my minimum threshold at this point. And we're going to squeeze these into a new release that actually drops in just a couple of days. So let's see if I can get the idea out and get them all mixed down and bounced all in the same session. All right, cool. Ready, set, go. You didn't even hear the gazelle, huh, Heidi? Damn. Bizarro OhmLab world, right? Helicopters? I don't see any helicopters, but the walls have eyes. That's new. All right, cool. Let's get something, what, maybe kind of gritty. We will see, Ben. I will come back to that link if I feel like I'm hitting my stride quickly here, which I probably will. Rhythmics are always easy. All right, enough. Let's start with let's toss serum in here, and we'll make one little kind of boom, just like a baby boom. Let's do maybe some animag. FM into this. Okay, so let's do like a little pluck burst on this thing. And give this thing a fairly sharp space. We'll make this kind of our main element. This will just be for a little bit of flavor over here. And we're going to put in a quick little FM stab on into this. And let's envelope this. Okay, so that sounds pretty good. I'm going to put this through a filter. Give this a long release. All right, and let's put a little filter action on this. Actually, let's leave the filter off. We'll rough this up a bit. Let's put a little like stomp box on it. All right, so that bends up a bit. We're going to put this through a filter. Well, first we'll compress the hell out of it. All right, now we'll run this through a filter, and let's make it maybe a comb and keep it low. Something like this. Yeah, something like that. All right, and now let's put this through some verb. Cue action here. And take a little off the top. Leave room for some noise of some kind. And I don't think I even want delay on there. And maybe just a touch less reverb on here. Hey, Tom's taking a break soon. Very nice. Paul, make helicopter sounds. Yeah, we could do that. A duck sandwich? Damn, dude. Some drive and time shaper vibes. Yep, we will definitely get into that. No DAW audio. Why is that? Oh, it looks like Streamlabs froze. Hold on a second. That's not good. Let's see if it's back here. Yeah, it looks like it's back. The keyboard. You do need a hey Chris command. There needs to be some way to like make the screen flash or something. Very deep Star Wars blaster. Hey, what's up, Andromia? All right, so we will record this one time. All right, let's bounce that. Print that, rather. All right, so we're going to use this as a little something. See what it sounds like at a couple different places. And let's even drop it a few and see what it sounds like. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty dope. We can do some stuff with this. All right, so the next thing we are going to do is let's put in a little, maybe like a little ticky kind of a thing here. Let's find a little ticky. Let's just open up some little bits. Clicks, clips. That one's kind of nice. Kind of like this one, number 14. All right, so we're going to take these three. We'll take these three. And we're going to put them into a sampler of some kind here. And maybe we'll even put them on their own. So 3, 5, and 14, we can remember that. Let's do just a regular sample on this first one. This next one. Let's put that into spectral. And we'll put the last one into granular. That was 14. Yeah, this one's got a little potential for some Atmos. Cool. So now we've got some sounds. Let's play with those. Maybe we'll get lucky and come up with some little individual sounds we'll actually want to leave in a stem all on their own. So a paintbrush here, speed this up a bit. 16ths. All right, let's get this guy. All right, this sounds pretty quiet. Let's get this boosted up a bit for you. All right, and this is a spectral mode. So oops. That's actually pretty nice right there. All right, so let's toss in a few of these here. Maybe quarter notes on this. All right, we'll take out this first one. All right, and lastly, this layer. thing turned up. Okay, so this is in a granular engine here. So let's kind of make this a little more interesting. Just up our density, randomize our time and space, make this kind of deep and spread out. Get an additional tap in there and reduce our spacing. Okay, and now we're going to do two things. Toss some portal on this. We're just going to add a little ambient love to it. Wash that just slightly more. Okay, we actually really don't even need to do anything else in there. We're just going to add some shimmer to this whole thing. And let's get a little atmospheric bed made out of this. And we'll keep this bright and put this into dual mode and big. You get a little feedback built up with it. And let's extend the release on this just a bit. All right, so we're going to put a little note in here for that. And let's see here. We're going to make this, let's make this a 100. Or should we start with our 80s? Let's start with 80s. Let's work our way up in tempo today. And we're going to set this at least 16 bars. A. Maybe we'll do A. All right, so we will run that for the entirety. Now let's place these hits. So let's do like every 4 bars or so. We'll do one of those. Let's just see how much we can get out of each one of these elements. Very simple. Okay, so this thing, maybe this does need one more here. Let's add some delay. Actually, you know what? Let's skip the delay on this for now. I want to keep this as simple as possible. And maybe we'll even just do... I wonder if we can get away with just doing a 4-bar. Let's try that. We might have to leave this one out of it for right now. Maybe even get away with a 2-bar. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so we've got one thing. We'll do a summon, please. Thank you. All right, so we're going to bounce this. Cool. Brilliant. Okay, so now we can add this. We'll loop this. Cool. Loops well. You gotta give me seizures. Oh man, that's like giving you guys like a little a button that shocks me or something, right? Oh geez. Take care, Tom. Am I using a noise gate in Streamlabs to get rid of the keyboard noise? Nope. Nope. I don't have anything. The keyboard is louder than the sound I'm making right now. Really? I wonder what they changed in regards to audio. I noticed that they didn't have the skipping issue that they've been having. And I noticed some more bells and whistles when the audio disappeared earlier and I clicked into the settings. I noticed a whole new kind of interface for all of that. There's a massive update this week. Do I have any swells in this pack that I'm currently making? Okay, so this pack specifically is all rhythmic. So the only kind of swells or long form modulation are like filter sweeps and stuff like that. But in the next one, lots. Trying to make swells, but you're not sure if they're like swells or not. Well, if there is a component that is kind of ramping up and it ramps back down, then it is a swell. It's just a matter of how you want it to sound after that, right? Yeah, swells are great. Yeah, I think this actually works pretty well. This first one's going to be incredibly minimal, as you're hearing. So let's get in here and mess it up a bit. I was saying yesterday that I still have not activated the noise module in Shaperbox. They've had it out now for like a couple of months now, and I still haven't activated it. My gosh. All right. First, we'll do a halftime here. crush the hell out of this thing. Keep that way for just one moment. Get a little delay baked in here. Cool. Okay, we've got that. Start putting this into some space here. I'll play with some saturation. And let's do slightly glitchy on this one. All right, let's put this into a space. Let's do... Let's go back to the Valhalla idea and maybe just skip that one element. All right, this one sounds pretty good. Let's go ahead and print this. So this will be, I have no idea. Let's see here, Atmos. I guess just one. We'll do like maybe, not sure, maybe 3 of these. Let's see what we come up with here. Let's ditch replica and we'll do our delay and set a rift this time. So we'll switch this out of comb and into normal. And let's do 8 dotteds actually. And let's do quarters. All right, and let's take portal. And let's take this to... see if we can get more of like a polyrhythm kind of thing happening here. Sync this to dotted as well. And let's set rift to 8ths. Add a little crush to this. Okay, let's drop our pitch shift on this and bring our feedback way down and our size down and our mix down. Kind of darken our output here. All right, I like this one. Let's go ahead and print this. We'll just call this Atmos 2 for now. Polyrhythms? Dremia says, I really like a good exposure dollar project with a massive anonymous clientele of eyes. Much excite. Let me drop everything. That made me go, what? Super happy, fun exposure dollar project. That's awesome. Oh, that'd be awesome. Mr. Takahashi sends super happy hour exposure project. That's hilarious. Ooh, chocolate orange time, Jafar. Oh man, no gingerbread cookies this year, huh? All right, let's see if these two sound enough or different enough. Yeah, I think we're okay there. And this one? Yeah, these are sounding quite different. So let's continue on with this little adventure here. Let's turn these couple of things off. Let's start with our portal. All right, and let's go in a different direction here. Let's go. Okay, and right here we'll put a second instance of portal. And on this one, go back in to stretch and smear. Okay. Now let's add some rift. And Jeremy is asking, OhmLab, if you were to start from the beginning in 2022 with sound design, how would you go about it? Woo! Well, golly. Seeing how most of this stuff didn't even exist when I was starting all of this originally, there were no plugins or anything. There was no internet. Yeah, that's a really good question. I've kind of developed so many things on my own over the years. I would want to try to stay true to that to a certain extent, because all of the lessons learned, you can't get that by reading stuff and following along with other people's ideas, because you just don't have the same kind of comprehension of things. You can't take the same leaps of faith. But I would probably study many masters, like Richard Devine, the Skywalker team. Like I would probably really pay attention to the dark arts side of mangling audio, going very deep down the rabbit hole of the various forms of alt synthesis, like granular, scanned, additive. I would probably dwell at least 50% of my time in the modular side of the pool, simply because the output seems to be more organic. And I would probably focus far more effort on saturation and harmonics than I would frequency wrangling through like equalization and stuff, EQ. Yeah, God, it's just two totally different worlds. Where I came from and where we are right now, they're just so much of the stuff now would have just been considered straight sci-fi, which is great. Which is great. I mean, it means we've come a long way. Knowing everything you know about competition, big companies, etc. I feel like this is actually a multi-pronged question, because there's the music side of it and there's the sound design side of it, and there's like the survival thing as well, right? So I think knowing what I know now, and applying it to this very day in our moment in time, if I was getting started, I would focus the large majority of my effort and energy on producing, mostly in a solo fashion, for licensing. I don't think I would spend any time or effort really on trying to get the general public to listen to music. I think I would find ways to put my projects into other projects, because that's really how this entire industry works now. And yeah, I would build a massive library of content. I would make everything from scratch, just like I always have, and be incredibly organized and meticulous, and every day make sure that I have sonic output, and that be my only goal. Because over time, those little piles of audio files add up to giant mountains and continents worth of content. I'd put the large majority of it behind a subscription gateway, and probably stop working earlier than I will this time around. Those are my answers. Yeah, there was a thing called hardware back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. Yeah, it's just so different. It's just so different, Yeah, just a very different world. I would be mostly in the box, because I really enjoy it. I don't think that I would be resistant to the digital future in any way. And when I was younger, I was totally resistant to it. Only in certain ways, though. So yeah, my approach would partly stay the same and partly be different. But I would focus all of my energy on sync, licensing, that type of thing, because there's actually good money in it. You know what I mean? And it's where all of entertainment has been heading for a really, really, really long time, right? Video games, interactive media, virtual reality, augmented reality, streaming platforms online. Yeah, it's just licensing. What they say in good old what's it called, Mrs. Robinson? Plastics. This would be licensing. Okay, so this one we're going to put a tremolo on, and we're going to force the rhythm out of this one, and we're going to make it mostly kind of square here. All right, let's bring our reverb back in. All right, that sounds pretty badass actually, but we're going to put on one more layer of distortion in this, and this time let's use maybe Byte. See if we can keep this thing fresh. Yeah, this is how we do it. Let's do one more thing right between our second layer of saturation and our tremolo. We're going to add a little filter modulation, and let's bring this basically all the way up. We'll add resonance. Let's go like almost 60%. Spread it, give it a little fat, give it a little tube. Let's set this to, say, 4 bars. Start it bright and see what this sounds like. Actually, oh, just a touch more. And again. All right, let's start it dark instead, and not quite as deep, and just a little more saturation. Yeah. All right, let's move our channel EQ up. Okay, that's good. Let's print this. All right, let's do a couple of quick ones. Those were kind of long. Tremia is saying if one were to study sound design, would there be resources one could look at, or mostly experimenting and experience? Yeah, there's lots of resources. Like the college, like all the curriculum that I've developed over the years, it's all been based around these concepts. And I'll just run through the basics with you really quick, okay? There's got to be rules. There's got to be rules, period. The first rule has got to be listen with your own ears and eyes and like heart first and foremost. Like accept input from other people, but listen with your own ears first and make your own honest judgments and be really freaking honest with yourself, because you're trying to get a sound in your head out and nobody hears that. Everyone else can give you advice from their own perspective, which is nowhere near the sound in your head, right? Okay, so there's that. Second, less is almost always more. So adhere to it, right? So start simple and then embellish. If you start complex, you are reducing the number of potential use cases for your sound and music. You're becoming more and more specific, right? The more you process initially in your processes or in your workflow, the more specific you're becoming immediately, which means if you're making sounds for someone else, that the large majority of people will no longer find that thing potentially relevant for their project. Like reverb is a really good example of this. Putting a bunch of reverb on something that other people might be using, well, now that reverb has to fit that moment in time in their project, right? The sound could have been perfect, but then you drenched it in reverb, so it doesn't work. Now, back this up a little bit, and let's just say you're making sounds for your music. Well, same thing. Start simple and save that. And now you've got that sound that you can use in all of your projects moving forward, rather than just going on to the next step and processing it and putting on all of your spatial effects and whatnot early. That sound now is no longer as relevant or potential rich as it once was, because it's been taken to this other place, right? So that's another rule, right? So listen with your ears first. Keep it really simple in the beginning. Less is almost always more. The third, you've got to know what sound is and how it works, for you to be able to get out of sound what you desire the most. So you have to understand timbre and how to manipulate it. And the best way to arrive at specific timbre is to work with only the mother waves for a while. So I would really encourage people to work with only sine, pulse, triangle, and sawtooth for a long time. And that's it, like as your source waveforms. Don't go into the complex stuff inside of your wavetable synths and stuff. Just don't. Just for a really long time, just focus on those. And what you're doing is you're training your ears. You don't realize it, but you are. You're going to become so flippin' familiar with the different characteristics and attitude and behaviors and outcomes of these four main waveform types that you'll be able to quickly identify which waveform is the source sound for all the various sounds that you hear in music and sound design. And that gives you the ability to deconstruct, reconstruct, reverse engineer, and learn at a far greater level and clip than you would be able to otherwise. Collaborate. Collaborate instead of compete with others, and you will gain insight into their processes and way of thinking and whatnot. This is the only way that you can really gain perspective in this work. And then find a mentor. Find someone that can help you with the whys, not the hows. Because if you were to come to me and say, hey, how do I make this sound? And I would say, turn this knob, do this, click this, turn this knob, and bounce. And you would follow those steps and you wouldn't understand any of the reasoning, any of the thought processes in my head. You would simply be following along. And following along does not teach you anything. It just teaches you the steps of one specific thing, but you don't understand the whys and hows of how you get there. So having someone that is willing to share those things in real time with you, in a language that you grok, like that you fully understand and vibe with. And of course, for all of those other things to work, you got to check your ego at the door, and you got to be brutally genuine and honest with yourself and others, right? You don't hype the work, and therefore you don't have to feel bad when it doesn't work out, feel greater than you actually are when something sounds good. You know what I mean? Just kind of staying in your lane. And then you get there, right? And then the rest, honestly, is just relationships. It's just relationship management. It's just like anything else, right? You be a good human, and others will be good with, to, and for you. Just like any other business. But starting with the absolute basics, and then as far as like processing and learning tools go, just use the same approach as the waveform thing, right? So instead of going like stepping into delay or reverb for the first time, instead of going for this big bombastic, like 400 different options kind of tool, go for the really simple thing and understand what is the difference between a room and a hall, right? And what's the difference between a plate and a spring? And just kind of slowly work your way through it, because if you do that in the beginning, you're going to know that stuff for the rest of your life at a really, really fundamental level, because you never had to go back and find the understanding in something that you'd been using for a long time. Because whenever that happens, it's basically indicative of the fact that you didn't know what the hell you were doing. So you're making assumptions, and those assumptions were probably not correct. So you have to kind of battle through that forever after that, versus learning it the right way the first time. So, yeah. Plastics, it's the future. Exactly, Paul. Yeah. Would you say creating music is a good way to showcase your sound design? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think it is. That said, I think that allowing other people to showcase your effort and your skills and your work is just as important as you, right? It's like, okay, so if you make a widget, wouldn't you rather spend your time making more of those widgets and making those widgets better and allow someone else to sell your stuff in their store down the street than it would be for you to make a widget and then walk outside and holler and yell until someone buys it and then go back and make another one and rinse and repeat, right? So it's kind of the same concept, right? I want my stuff to be disseminated while I'm still working on new stuff. And I want that to be done in a multitude of ways, right? So it's constantly meeting new people, because if you're only meeting the same people, you already sold them that sound. They're never going to buy that sound again. You know what I mean? With food or clothing or something, you have the perishable aspect of it. You can sell the same burrito to the same person every day for their entire life. Someone can come in and get a chicken burrito every single day for their entire life, and you can sell it to them, and you can live that way. But they're not going to buy the same song from you every day or the same sound from you every day. And that's the big difference. So you got to keep it, you got to hustle. Javar says, I have the same question. I'm finding it hard to find much info on actual sound design, as in creating sounds. Most of it ends up being design of musical sound, though it's all related. Traditional sound design seems hard to find unless you study with someone that's doing it. Part of it just seems to be the nebulousness of the definition. Okay, so herein lies the problem, the misunderstanding, the skewed perspective. There is no historical job called sound designer for music. That never really existed. Sound designers historically have been the people that are using audio and manipulating it to fit to moving pictures. The fact that there are these massive marketplaces for synth presets and audio files and whatnot, and the reason why that all exploded is because of guys like me, right? Like people that dove into it and built marketplaces and communities for people to create and share sounds with one another. Just didn't exist before. It just simply did not exist before. The sounds that you heard in the songs on the radio when you were growing up were made by the people playing those instruments, right? There were no preset packs or anything. So that's just the way it was. And sound designers, like the only time you see that in any credit roll is going to be for film, television, video game, that type of thing. So yeah, it can be kind of tough when you're coming at it from the perspective of music, or through the lens of music, and trying to find resources and historical documentation and stuff, because you're not going to find it. People that kind of bridge both sides can provide that continuity for you, kind of share exactly how that all progressed over time. So that's why you guys are missing that. Javar is saying, when I think of sound design, I think of the guys in the audio department, what the guys in the audio department were doing in the game studios I worked in. Buttons, weapons, ambient environments, etc. A lot of people call creating audio presets for a music track sound design, which is fair, just confusing. Yeah, so it is. It is fair, and it is confusing, and it's all a byproduct of the fact that the music side of the industry has been trending towards synthetic for a very long time, right? We've moved almost entirely into the box now. And before, there was one person in the band that was playing with sound, honestly. Like the guitarist was playing with some pedals, you know what I mean? Like people were changing the tone of things or adding delay or getting really weird. But, you know, they would call themselves a guitarist or a keyboardist, right? They wouldn't call themselves a sound designer, right? Yes, they were designing sounds, but it wasn't the gig. A lot of sound-related content I find is related to universities doing some studies that doesn't seem relative to anything in practice. Yeah. Yeah, and Saffron makes a good point, and he's been doing this for a while with me as well. Just doing one-on-one sessions is almost always going to be more beneficial for guys like you, Andremia and Javar, because you already have a thing. You can already make stuff that sounds good. So when you look at curriculum and enrolling in said curriculum, it seems like a wasted investment almost, because you're going to revisit the stuff that you already know. You're going to be disappointed because expectations aren't being met. And therefore, you're not going to have the inspiration that is supposed to juice the entire experience, right? You're supposed to be so inspired because you're being exposed to all of these things for the first time. And all of the people around you have that same level of excitement and interest and passion and discovery. And then, stuff happens because all of you are so freaking juiced on the whole experience. But that doesn't happen when you're coming at it from like a continuing education perspective, which is exactly where you guys are. Right. So it's all going to seem lackluster, honestly. Jeremiah, can I borrow someone's MRI machine so I can do some theoretical experiments so I can social engineer some funding from an inventor or investor, right? um, Yeah, and Javar's making a point of like when you're looking at different types of tutorials and breaking up the process or the parts or the sound into parts, that type of thing is also helpful. Um, yeah, I think the thing that both of you are probably looking for um, is really a mentor, like someone that can answer the small handful of questions that you guys have, which probably more dwell in the realm of like business acumen and networking and surviving, sustainability, stuff like that. Because you guys are both really good at tinkering and figuring things out. So if you did have a question about some kind of process or tool, you would get your answer and then you would just walk away and you would play with that for a while and develop your own sound within it. It's not like you would come back and be talking with that person about that stuff anymore, really. You know what I mean? Yeah. You are an aura machine. Yes, Heidi. Jafar says, oops, with my last comment again, I'm thinking of sound for representing the real world, not playing as an instrument. You're probably talking more about what Chris is talking about, which is shaping waveforms. Well, no, both are applicable, right? Both are applicable because you have to create the sounds if the sounds aren't there to manipulate, right? Like it's not like sound design on the sync side of things for like screen, right? Video game or film or anything like that. Like if you don't have the audio file sitting in front of you, then you've got to either capture it, which means recording it with a microphone, or you got to make it, right? And more often than not, you got to make it. So then understanding the waveforms and synthesis and all of that is supremely important. It's supremely important. And Dremia says, I can make thousands of sound a day, just looking for guidance to turn this into a career rather than living the human starving artists. In my case, starving robot artists. It's taken almost 20 years to develop a creation workspace where I'm able to produce easily and flexibly, says Paul. Just looked at a sample pack of hits from a company and realized that most of it's just processing like reverb delay, then realized that I'd be better at dissecting it with my ears, figure out the root sounds are, than assembling them myself. So I found a sample of metal being hit and went from there. Yeah, that's exactly it, Javar. That is exactly it. And the perception that we have in this industry of people that we've kind of put up on these pedestals, like it's a bad thing to put a person on a pedestal, in my opinion. Like to lionize someone is bad, because I think it's not bad to hold them in high esteem or to recognize their accomplishments or any of that. That's not the bad part. The bad part is believing that there's that much distance between you and that person, because there is not. The biggest thing that stands between you and that person is an opportunity. and that's all. And you can create your own opportunities now because you can just bounce stuff and put it into a marketplace today. And it doesn't have to be in a Hollywood film, right? It doesn't have to be on Sony Records, right? It's released out into the world, and now you've done that. And now there's less of a gap between you and that person because now you are both bouncing stuff and putting it out into the world. So now the question is what kind of stuff are they making that you have interest in? And what can you figure out by listening to it? Because that's as simple as audio is. Like if you want a big boom, kick a door, hit something, and then put a bunch of reverb on it, and boom, you're done. Like that's it. That's a hit. Now go make 500 of them, right? And in the process of making 500, you're going to figure out a lot of things. But you got to experiment. But you're absolutely right, Javar. Like there's only so many sounds, right? And the most common ones are the ones that are used the most, right? So it's really just like, what's the source sound here? Is it a waveform or is it an object, right? If it's an object, is it metallic? Is it wooden? Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it reflective, right? Is it liquid? Guidance is great because you can be guided down a path quicker without being confused. The trick is to know at what point to jump off the path in the bushes to see what's there, right, Javar? Well, I think a good mentor and a good teacher is going to dwell in theory. It's going to fill your head with concepts and the ways in which you can arrive at solutions and solve problems along the way. And hopefully give you some technical insight and understanding to the mechanics of something. And then also share with you some of their thought processes and decision making based upon all of those other parameters, just detailed, right? Because then they're never actually telling you to make something specific or asking you to copy them. They're challenging you to figure things out your own way. And I think that that's the most important part of all of it. Paul says, are you a content creator or a developer? Is your output the end product or part of a toolkit for others? Two different marketing paths. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Although in today's scene, you kind of want to be both because you want to produce the content and you want it to go into someone else's project. Yes. And the goal of doing all of that is to do something within the range of your passion to make the money that you need to survive and follow your other passionate pursuits, which might be the other path, right? So you might be doing a lot of sound design for film or game or something. And by the way, there's a huge shortage for talent and labor in post-production audio right now. A massive shortage, actually. So, I mean, it just kind of gives you insight, right? Like there are opportunities. It's just about which side of the industry you're making your money on. And just don't believe that all of these people that have albums and tracks being released are getting rich from it, because they're really not. You know, the large majority of people are really not. And they honed their skills doing these other things. So. Jeremy says, I look at some artists that make a living from sound packs or hip hop beats, and their content is not that different from mine, what's on the market, and seems more like a career built on their personality and image rather than quality subjectively. Well, in Dremia, that's just it. It's like, it's a matter of who you know, like who have you had contact with, because they put their stuff into a marketplace. They're not selling that stuff. That marketplace is. And that marketplace has a marketing team. And they have a target demographic, and they're doing whatever they can to get more of their target demographic through their pipeline, because they're going to get a percentage of each sale of the creator's work, right? And I still pretty strongly believe that, like, at some point, you've just got to find a marketplace, right? Some sort of marketing scheme that you can plug into. Jafar says, yep, finally starting to get over buying the latest Kontakt library to get a sound. I'd rather start figuring out how to create them myself. Yeah, and you're so much better for it, really, honestly. Paul, I will watch that. That sounds great. Yeah, Jafar. Yeah, and going out and recording your own sounds. Like the more you go through the entire process, the more the veil is lifted and the more you realize just how simple most of the stuff actually is. Right? And when you start with the sound or start from a place that isn't ideal, the longer it takes and the more forcing there is, which means there's this, it's just less opportunity for you to arrive at a happy place organically, for sure. STP1, welcome in. Reverse engineering is fun, yeah. And profitable if you do it well, yeah. Speaking of sound design questions, we've probably distracted Chris long enough, so I posted a question about vocal processing in the Discord public sound design section if anyone wants to start a side conversation. Awesome. My actual question would be, make more music to prove my ability and get eyes on me, or just start pushing out sound packs and focus less on proving myself. I don't know anyone that does what I do with granular, so it's, I don't know if I'm... No, in Dremia, a lot of people actually do what you do. The thing that makes you different is that you've built a character and a story, and like you have something far richer than just sound. Strip that away, and there's a lot of other people that do what you do. But it is niche, and it's not all that mainstream. So putting a character and a brand around it and everything is great, and all of that can be sold. The thing that other people are doing that you're not doing is putting yourself into a system. You have not put yourself into a system yet. If you had someone marketing your stuff for you, then you would see the same kind of results that other people see. And then some, because you're also plugged in to a platform already and actively broadcasting a lot, which means that once the people do plug into you, they have a way to connect with you directly, which means you have a massive leg up over everyone else who's just pumping content into a marketplace, because they're faceless. They do not have any character, and no one can associate with them. They simply like their sounds. You know what I mean? Post-production, as in mastering for films? No, post-production means all of the work that happens to audio or video after that initial piece of content has been created. So in other words, great, someone recorded some drums. Now what? What are you going to do with those drums, right? Now we're in the post kind of conversation, right? You've recorded all of your audio and you've bounced it down. Now someone is going to start doing stuff with that. Yeah, podcast editing, post work is good. And it's what a lot of you would really, really find incredibly enjoyable. Because it allows you to flex your brain muscles. You're working with audio all day. It's fun. And you get to see your projects get out into the world. You are appreciated, and you're gaining skills every single day. And yes, Paul is correct. For anyone looking to make money in music or audio in general, just figure out how to teach what you know. That is absolutely. And no, in Dremia, it's not if you can't do, teach. It's if you can do, teach. That's really what it should be. And if you can't teach, teach math. Oh. SDP1 says, FYI, y'all. Hey, Nate. How are you, man? How was your stream? And welcome in, everyone coming with you. SDP1 says, FYI, y'all, Illmind, two-time Granny winner, is launching a new platform for sample creators for us to sell our drum kit sample packs, minus all of the hidden fees. It's called Kitsy Audio, Amazon for producers. Yeah, and this kind of thing has been sparked up several different times by different people. And you want to know how people got into a sustainable living on BeatStars, for instance. Well, they got into BeatStars before it blew up, right? So if you want to get into something, get in on the ground floor. That's why I keep talking to you guys about the audio design desk thing and like giving you guys a advanced heads up thing. Like when we start to allow the community to form and third-party content to start flowing in, that's a ground floor opportunity, right? People asked how I had such success with places like Audio Jungle. Well, I was there in the beginning. Yeah, just get in there. Just get in there. Yeah, SDP1, please do drop a link. Absolutely. 100%. Paul says, also still recommend looking into forensic audio. Cosmic Brother has a mastering studio in Melbourne, Australia, but mostly working in forensic these days. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there's so many different ways to make money with audio. And Jeremy says, so use my personality to create tutorials on the fundamentals of making music with Ableton and then plug sound packs or art assets to be used in music creation for beginners and learn tech as I go. That's what I got from some of this conversation. Well, I think the biggest takeaway, though, is that no one is hawking your wares for you while you're doing your thing. That still comes back. That's still the main thing, is you've built something great and you've got to let someone sell that for you. Because otherwise, you're going to have to stop doing everything you're doing to put forth that effort. And that breaks the machine, because then you're not making your stuff anymore. You know what I mean? Do what you got to do, Nate. All right, let's see what this thing is here. Kitsy Marketplace. I like it. Yeah, this is very similar to what we will be doing with Audio Design Desk. Yep. Excuse me. Except for our focus is going to be just a little bit different, right? This is stuff for music specifically. And ours will be for music and sync. So film, live broadcast, all that stuff, as well as music. And I know I've shared links before, but, you know, taking a look at like Audio Lister and tuning into the conversations that are happening in places like a sound effect and stuff like that. Like these are resources that are constantly listing opportunities. But, you know, just like chasing anything else, if you've already built something and you're more than halfway there, then to walk away from it seems like such a waste. It's so much better to plug it into a system and see how that system works for you, right? So if you're making music, find a label, right? And if you're making sound packs, find a good distribution platform, right? So you're not doing all of that legwork, because if you do, then you're not making, you're not creating, and that breaks the entire thing. Hmm. Heidi. Okay, I think that's this one. Did I just do this one? Yes. Okay. All right, so let's mute this one and move on. Let's do something kind of simple here. Let's go in and take one of my packs. Let's see what we can find here. Nah, I'd rather just make something from scratch. Let's do software instrument. And for this one, let's find, let's do something inside of massive X. Oh my gosh, I need coffee. I'm gonna go grab coffee really quick. Don't want to fall asleep on all y'all. I'll leave you guys with a little bit of this. Holy hell, did audio stop working again? Come on, Streamlabs. Get your stuff together. All right, let's see if that fixes it. Oh, hell yeah, Andremia. Of course we're going to share our thoughts with you all the time. You disown Streamlabs. I need to. I just haven't had time. I need to take a few days off and work through my inbox, replay Streamlabs. All right, I'm going to go grab some coffee. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, back. All right, so where were we? Oh yeah, going to fire up massive X here. Get something kind of chunky. Why? Why, Streamlabs? Why does audio break every time I change something? Why, Streamlabs? Why? There we go. I have a very hard time believing I can't figure that shit out. All right, let's build something around this. And let's go into serum, and let's just make this as quick as we can. So we're going to put some tiny little ticks here. And let's just use maybe one of my super thin ones, like thinner. All right, let's give this thing a little wiggle. Let's put a pitch shifter on this one. All right, let's play with this sound just a little bit here. All right, so we're going to bring this up, and let's do this. Let's trigger this and set this to 2 bars. All right, cool. Let's stack these and let's bounce this. All right, cool. So now we've got a thing. Let's mess that thing up, shall we? Let's drag this out. Let's do a good solid 16 bars again and see what we come up with. Let's chop it. Let's do, wow, why did that load with all of these components loaded? That's weird. I've never seen it do that before. That was weird. I've never seen that. All right, we're gonna crush this. This is one way to make a quick one, huh? All right, we're going to space this just a bit. A little granular delay on this. And let's do space. That sounded a little off. Oh, it is a little off. Let's fix that. Aha! That's why it sounded weird. All right, back at it. Hey, Blackberry. How you doing, man? Let's get a little feedback added to the end of this thing. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and print this one. Sounds like a little, like industrial almost. Not industrial like Al Jorgensen, industrial like some kind of, I don't know, foundry kind of a sound in there or something. Hey, BlackBerry's going to start streaming. Nice. Looking forward to that. All right, let's turn all these things off. And all right, let's turn this into something here. All right, and let's add something to the top of that. But actually, instead of thermal this time, let's go rift. Okay, now let's put that into some really kind of abstract space here. And let's shift this towards dark and just kind of bring down our decay a bit and our size a bit. And let's bring our brightness way down. All right. I think I'll put finishing touch on that at a different point. Let's go ahead and print this. Oh, Paul, I love this. Paul's saying my latest video features me basically playing the fine tune on an oscillator and the freeze on clouds, little twiddles that make big sounds. I love that kind of stuff. I really do. It's always so organic and pleasing. Blackberry's saying I plan to stream my ADD adventures among other things. Nice, dude. That's awesome. Audio design desk being ADD. Very nice. Very nice. That's awesome. Javar in a squirrel suit. Oh, that's awesome. All right, let's we're going to get back into Shaperbox and let's start Scratch again. Now this time, let's just kind of play with the free sync mode on the volume. Let's go ahead and put a little pluck in here. We'll smooth it just slightly and take it out of beat mode and see what happens. Getting there. Getting there. Yeah. Ooh. All right, let's mess with that. Double down. Just really quick. Okay, sure, what the hell? Let's do this. What is this? What is this? What is this? Industrial 3. All right, let's turn all these things off and move on to another one really quick. We got time. We got time. Da, 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 da. Okay. Let's make something else new. Blackberry says, I'm going to work on some merch over Christmas. I designed an Angels template for mic placement years ago. Oh, an Angles template. That's awesome. That's really cool. What is a free and really bad VST that still works in today's DAWs? Boy, that's a really good question. I don't know. Bad or old? That's a good question, Paul. Ooh, also doing a recording studio tape measure. That's nice. Yeah. And maybe shirts. Nice. Nice. Hey, Sigo, what's up, dude? How are you? Never any need to apologize for being late, homie. Hope you're well. Hey, Kaleido Gold or Silver and little glass pendants would be cute. That'd be awesome. Yes, don't cut off your hands, Saf. That would be very bad. Oh, man. Oh, that's awesome. The graveyard of dead instruments. All right, let's do, let's see here. Is this a software track? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Let's do a simple one. Let's do quarter notes here. And maybe even just sawtooth-ish sounding. Maybe what we'll do is we'll pluck this up to this spot here. kind of considering stopping right there. In fact, I think I will. I'm just going to take this waveform. Should have soloed that track first. All right, so this is 4 bars here. Maybe we'll just stick with a 4 bar. Print that. All right, so now we've got just this. And I can work with that. All right, so we're going to put just a tiny little fade on top and bottom really quick. And we're going to back this up. And we're going to loop it. Oh, hey, you're not supposed to be doing that. Come on. The hell? Oh, come on. What the hell? Oh. Snap wasn't turned on. That's why. You'd be fucking kidding me. Come on. What the hell? This is not okay. Are you kidding me right now? The hell? What does this thing look like here? Why won't this chop on the grid? This is really weird. What the fuck? Yeah, this makes no sense. You gotta be kidding me. All right, scissors. I can't even cut it, huh? You know, sometimes I'm happy this stuff happens live because then I'm like not alone in the mystery. But come on, seriously? Like that's ridiculous. How much will it cause me to be off by? Moving it to a different track did not do the trick. Good effort, though, Blackberry. That's weird. Elf ears with built-in earbuds. I heart saw waves too, Siga. Huh. Yeah, definitely weird. All right, anyway, back to this. We're going to put cable guys on this. It's just going to be a 16 bar stem anyway. It's not going to fall out too far, I don't think. What do I want to do here? Let's do a Hey, yeah, big ups to Kraftwerk finally being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Very big ups. That's awesome. BlackBerry, yep, in grid. Yeah, why did it take so long? Because it's rock and roll. Here it comes. All right, let's see what is this rate? This a half? What else do I have? I've got this. Is this mapped to anything? Yeah. Yes. Where's the green one? Over here on the low pass, resonance. What is this? Eighth notes? Okay, let's bring this over and drop this way down here. There we go. Okay. All right, I like it. Let's add a little space to it and bounce it. Let's do dark, dual, big, and shift it. We can shift it up, I guess. Feedback a little bit. Cut out some lows and some highs. All right, cool. Let's print it. And what is this one? This one's just like a basic bass. They are on a different sonic plane for sure. Their influence on rock is undeniable and everlasting, kind of like a gobstopper. Krautrock days, right? All right. Now for something completely different. See if I can find a little inspiration here really quick. It's actually very cool. Some sinister lows here. Let's squeak an EQ right into the middle of the signal chain right here. It's a badass sound right here. Little shine. Let's give it a little shine. Boom. Let's print this. Digging that. Digging that. That's the new band name, Sinister Lows. I like it. I like it. Right, Blackberry? Right? Groove music. Right. DJ Empirical is here. What's up, Steven? How are you, man? Yeah, your name did come up earlier. All right, let's see what else we can crank out of this bad boy right here. Start at the top again. Next. Feedback. Let's get some feedback in here. much more feedback can we add? Here it comes. Oh, well, I don't want the, I don't want the big gap in there. Let's get back down here. Thank you, Sigo. All right, now let's try moving this down a bit in the chain here. Woo! All right. Get it into an acceptable lux range here really quick. That's close. Not sure if I like the quickness of this though. Let's take this down to like an 1/8 here. Which one is this? This is my time. Okay, so the only thing we're really missing in this whole thing is the delay that I took out. That feels good. Let's print that. So that's our third. Yeah, that's our third out of this batch. And what have been calling us? Basic 3. Hey, Evans the Bard is here. What's up, dude? How are you doing? Happy hump day to you. I've just recently learned that Evans the Bard is here in Portland. And speaking of, I saw your email. You were asking, hey, maybe you've actually seen me around town or something. And I looked at your face. And yes, I have seen you, actually, more than one time. It's a freaking small town still. Having a coffee break. Me too. It's how I justify the live streams with my busy schedule. This is my break time. I really don't take breaks outside of these streams, and that's just how it is. All right, let's just really quick. Let's scan through this stuff, and oh, you know what? I have oh boy, I have not saved this. Let's save as, and this is December 15th. Let's stick this in the streams. And this is 80D rhythmics, and it's 80 BPM currently. I'll do the others outside of the stream. Okay, so that one is good. And we'll tag that with some colors. Okay, so here's that. I'm gonna just tag this with 2 different colors so I know where I am in my workflow here, and then check out what we've bounced so far. All right, those atmospheric ones turned out pretty good. The super basic one turned out all right. I'm digging this one, the second one. Yeah. All right, how about this industrial one here? Some high octane D&B drums over the top of that. All right, well, those were all fun. Yeah, small town indeed. Goth taco mukbang. Love that. Yeah. Mike Nesmith, yeah. Oh, nice one, Dremia. It turns out that there's been several people campaigning for us to connect in like on both sides of the camp. So we've been sending email volleys back and forth. Saf, take care, brother. I will. I'll try and get an email out to you today if I can. I'm trying to finagle a spot for you next week. Oh, Ben. Yeah, dude. You want to drop a link? We'll finish with that. I'm sure that the link that you dropped a few hours ago is long gone here. Nice. Thank you, sir. All right, this is the latest work in progress from Ben. Paperwork references, Bernadette and Antoinette. All right, let's see here. All right, dude, you ready? Here we go. You up the tempo on this? Okay, nice crossfade. Oh, it's a new one. Okay, cool. I'm going to go back 30 seconds here. The stuttering is bad, and it's not the music, huh? Yeah, you know, the Streamlab folks and maybe Weathermen should just get together. What is stuttering exactly? Is it the music playback? Like, is my voice stuttering right now? Freaking Streamlabs, man. Seriously. I wonder how many people are satisfied and pleased with them right now. Voice is fine, but huh. Now that sucks. Yeah, sorry that's happening out there, you guys. Damn, and did it just start when I was doing the wow. Wow. What's up, Vince? How you doing, man? It wasn't doing that earlier though, huh? Oh, it's been doing it all morning. So everything you guys have been hearing has been stuttering? Music not dropping, but bad side chaining. Well, here, let's listen just really quick. Oh, all morning, huh? So this is really stuttery to you too? Holy hell, are you serious? Wow, I see none of that on my end. I don't see any blips in the meters or anything. It's popping, but not as bad. So it's like a popping kind of sound. Really? So no gazelle for some of you. Audio's popping. Your sounds were popping. The audio playback was stuttering. Really? Oh man, I'm surprised nobody said anything. I'm just upset at Streamlabs at this point. Also a slight delay, making it sound out of rhythm. Holy shit, really? Man, not happy with them. DJ Empirical's had me on mute all day, so I sound fine on his end. I know Tremties, but you know what? It's not everyone, because other people were seeing the gazelle. I see and hear the gazelle. Really weird. So Paul sees it, but not Heidi. Was it Streamlabs that stopped Twitch earlier? Wait, are you saying that my stream stopped? Everything looks good here. Like I have no error reports. I have no notifications from Streamlabs. Huh. Oh, your stream stopped this morning. Yeah, I am not pleased with Streamlabs right now. Twitch had a meltdown a couple of hours ago. Oh, wow. Well, I'm lucky to have stayed on then, I guess, huh? Well, snap. And a lot of Twitch stopped, huh? Man. I have a sneaky suspicion about a bunch of attacks taking place lately. Paul says, your stream has been fine here. Audio glitchy, mostly noticeable listening to Nano's track. And Tremtai says, every stream I went to was just black screen. Wow, what the hell? All right, that's it. Start over from scratch. Oh, from the top. Well, Andremia, take good care of your drones, and thank you for playing with us again today. And on that note, I need to refresh this here and see who's doing what around here. Yeah, I haven't had any mentions. No one fun, really. I haven't had any mentions either, DJ Empirical, but until today. New computer, new career. Yeah, there's not really a whole bunch of really fun people streaming right now. So I think what I'm going to do is... all right, I saved that one. So wait, are you saying then if I was to hit play on this guy, this other project, that this was stuttering and popping as well? This stuff right here? Oh, did you find someone, Jafar? Well, of course, that doesn't sound good to you because Streamlabs just dropped freaking audio again. They've dropped audio like... I don't know, 5 or 6 times in this stream. Let's try this. Is that stuttering and popping? I'm gonna go find Josh. See, I only see the people that I currently follow. Totally got it, Tremties. Totally. No popping. Okay, so then there must be something. Something in the other project, but that wouldn't account for the streaming of audio through the web browser earlier when we were listening to Ben's track. I'll just turn this up for each of our. I didn't see any CPU spikes. Because we did have something happen one day where there was some kind of issue between thermal and Streamlabs. This sounds fine, huh? Weird. But audio from a browser and audio in the project. Huh. Could be an encoding error dependent on data content. Might need something noisier with more changes. Huh. Which obviously would be running through something that I have no control over on my end. Damn it. Damn it, Janet. All right, well, hey, let me go back here and click on this and see if I can find Josh. And there's Josh. And we'll go take you to Josh. Everybody, happy Wednesday. Thank you for spending the day with me, or the morning, or the evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. I appreciate you. And I'll see you on Friday. You can bring your work in progress with you, and we'll listen and say kind things about it and stuff. Until then, I appreciate you all. Big love. I'll see you on the flip. Let's go listen to what Josh is up to.
Thank you very much for the raid. I don't think we've met, but thank you very much for the raid. Nice to meet you. Yeah, we do have a translate bot. Oi, oi. You alright, mate? Oh, is Tangerine bot not connected? Oh, okay. Hello, OhmLab. How are you? Good to see you. I don't think we've met before, so please introduce yourself. What do you do? My name's Joshua Wu. I'm obviously a music streamer. I do covers, loops, originals, those sort of things, you know. Shout out, thank you for giving that sub to OhmLab, thank you. And let me know if you want a song as well, OhmLab. And Raiders, if you want to know how things work around here, exclamation mark how to. All right, thank you very much for the raids, people. Thank you.